Welcome back to your Game of Thrones recaps. My name's Kyle Maddock, and this is Episode 3, Walk of Punishment. We begin with Catelyn's father, Lord Hoster Tully, being sent down the river in his funeral boat, which is to be lit on fire by his son Edmure. However, Edmure is the worst archer in Westeros, and perhaps all of existence. Wouldn't it have been easier to just light the fire before the boat left the dock, instead of turning this into some sort of weird carnival game where the only prize is sadness? Finally, Cat and Edmure's uncle Blackfish steps in and shows them how it's done, by actually trying. Edmure's day then goes from bad to worse as King Nephew Robb reads in the riot act over some bad decision-making on the battlefield. Meanwhile, Robb's wife helps the cause by making the Lannister children believe that Robb is a werewolf. Just like Alcide on the new season of HBO's True Blood, premiering June 16th only on HBO.
Please send ad revenue to Game of Thrones Recaps, care of Kyle and Eric, Los Angeles, California, 90038.
In King's Landing, the small council plays a game of non-musical chairs, each jockeying for the best position to sit and stare at Lord Tywin. This is the true Game of Thrones. Tywin replaces Littlefinger with Tyrion as Master of Coin, and upon inspecting the kingdom's books, Tyrion learns something very interesting. Littlefinger was terrible at his job. Like, worse than Edmure is at archery. But Tyrion has more important things than the realm's finances on his mind. His loyal squire Podrick saved his life in the Battle of the Blackwater, and he needs to be repaid. Tyrion decides it's time for Pod to become a man, and arranges for him to be bedded by a woman. Wait, no, 2 women. Wait, 3 women?
Pause, baby. Just pause.
3 women servicing young Pod is gonna take a lot of Lannister gold. What? The prostitutes return the money? Well, this has never happened in the entire history of Westeros, but why would they do a thing like that?
Pause, baby. Just pause.
No Joffrey this week. The realm held a tourney in celebration. Everybody won! Meanwhile, on Dragonstone, Stannis tries to get Melisandre in the mood to make another shadow demon baby. Now that Renly's dead, Stannis has a taste for royal blood and wants Joffrey dead too. Get in line, Stannis. So do the rest of us. But he also wants Robb Stark dead, and anyone else who says they're a king. Elvis Presley, the king of cartoons, Rodney King, King Kong, Burger King, all of them. Melisandre tells him to be patient and then gets the hell out of there before he decides to get in the mood by killing someone. Way out in Astapor, Daenerys keeps trying to wear down the slaver to buy his 8,000 unsullied warriors, but the guy won't negotiate with terrorists. Or women. Finally, she offers up something he can't refuse, a dragon. What? Those are like her children. Her fire-breathing lizard children, and she didn't even hesitate when making that deal. Ser Jorah and Ser Barristan do not like this at all, but Dany reminds them of exactly who's in charge. The dragons. And then her. North of the wall, Jon and Mance Rayder find some folk art in the snow made up of dead horses. Mance finds it to be pretentious and derivative, but Jon thinks it belongs in a museum. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Mance then sends Jon and Tormund Giantsbane to go climb the wall and take over Castle Black, and what? It's that easy? Just go climb the wall. Well, why didn't the wildlings do that years ago? Mance wants Jon to go because he knows the defenses of Castle Black. But what about 2 miles from Castle Black, where there's no Castle Black? Wouldn't that be a better choice for climbing the wall? The Night's Watch won't be expecting the wildlings to knock on their front door. You know nothing, Mance Rayder. The rest of the Black brothers go and visit their old friend Craster, who's surprisingly not busy impregnating one of his daughter wives. This gives him enough time to look at Samwell like a Christmas ham, which sends Sam running outside to find Gilly giving birth to a son. Uh-oh. Craster hates sons, mostly because he can't get them pregnant. Hopefully they leave Craster's house soon because he makes Jaime and Cersei's relationship seem wholesome and pure. Theon's new BFF helps him escape on the back of a horse, but it's not long before his captors catch up to him. The punishment for escaping? Butt rape. Yeah, he just should have stayed where he was. Luckily, they all get mowed down by a mysterious captor with an automatic weapon and a high-capacity quiver. Theon's mysterious savior? the same guy. Yeah, Theon might not know who this guy is, but he definitely owes him a Klingon life debt now. Back on the King's Road, Arya confronts the Hound and reminds him about murdering her friend, the butcher's boy. Hot Pie overhears this and decides he's safer staying there and changing his identity, so he gets a new job and is now known as Hot Bread. Finally, we check in with Locke, who has all hands on deck with the capture of Jaime and Brienne. Jaime tries to give Brienne a hand by telling her to just let the captors rape her, and then has his hands full when he has to save her from being raped. Jaime forces Locke's hand into releasing him from his chains and letting him sleep lying down. Jaime thinks he's in safe hands with Locke, but Locke doesn't respect Jaime as he uses his father to bail him out instead of getting his hands dirty. Locke then gains the upper hand and wins hands down when he chops Jaime's arm off at the wrist. It's a heavy-handed gesture, but you have to hand it to him. Jaime handed it off when he played right into Locke's hand. Craster, a man who impregnates his own daughters, takes offense at being called a bastard, and Dany makes the hardest decision she'll ever have to make. Which of her children she hates the most. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Before you watch next week's episode, make sure you check back here for the newest episode recap. My name's Kyle Manick. Have a good week.